When I was young, I used to like to draw. Considered myself an artist of sorts. So much so that when I graduated high school and moved to Pittsburgh, I enrolled at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. Needless to say, it didn't pan out. It became too much like a job. I lost my passion for art. But I didn't lose my passion for the city of Pittsburgh. So when I left school, I decided to stay here. I bounced around from little job to little job, worked at a gas station for a while, met a guy that built pool tables. He offered me a job doing that. From there I met a friend, Robbie. Robbie had a friend named CJ. This is how I met CJ. If I'd never picked up a pen and decided to draw something, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. This movie we're about to review has a lot to do with fate, and the choices that you make put you in positions to meet the people in your life. Is CJ the one? Will we do this podcast forever? Or is he not committed? And I've put this man on a pedestal, and he'll do a podcast with somebody else 5 years down the line, and I'll be left miserable and drunk in an apartment eating Twinkies. It's possible. But I also think maybe he is the one. Welcome to You've Got Mails. Day 133. The You've Got Mails guys review a little movie called High Fidelity about a hipster incel who looks back on his relationships, not realizing he's the problem. Day 147. The You've Got Mails guys review a little movie called 500 Days of Summer, where a hipster incel looks back on his relationships, not realizing he's the problem. Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody. I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ.
I'm glad you started with that because I was going to call this High Fidelity too.
It's like
Aggressive
the prequel.
man
It's like the
boyaboo.
prequel to High Fidelity.
Yeah.
This episode's probably going to get real. I want to go back and rate The Princess Bride higher from last week, just because it let me escape reality for just a brief minute, where all I had to worry about was giants and six-fingered men, Billy Crystal in really bad makeup.
Well, I have great news for you.
What?
We don't have any rules, so if you want to go back and just
it's
retroactive, well, we don't have rules at all,
Jesus Christ. High Fidelity had me just retrospectively looking at like my past relationships and past me.
Yeah.
This movie had me looking at current me and just like thinking about things and feeling feelings and...
Can we go back to romance movies where the woman is the main star?
This is the problem this is a rom-com. It's all about the guy. Like, the female character in this is underdeveloped and it makes sense to me. So, this movie, Tom, our main character played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he projects all of his feelings and desires and wants onto this girl who really doesn't want the same thing.
She's it's not a booty call. She's just looking to pass the time.
And she is. This is our first, and I believe this. You've mentioned it quite a few times. She is our manic pixie dream girl.
Zoe Deschanel is...
she's the prototypical. We haven't really had one, I don't feel like, on this podcast yet, even though we've talked about it. But no, she's not that into you. So it almost makes sense that she's not even really a character. She's just like...
I think she's a good character in this.
I don't think that she has enough backstory. She's fleshed out enough. We don't understand why she does the things she does. We just see what Tom wants.
Oh, yeah, we don't ever see her without him.
Yeah.
If that's what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. And some of her explanations and the way she does things. I would like to know more about why she is the way she is, I guess.
We're only ever seeing her through his eyes.
Exactly, and I think that's
his confused, adolescent, man-boy eyes.
I believe that's the point, is that we're supposed to see her the way he sees her. And again, like John Cusack, he's pretty unlikable in this movie. But in a very charming way.
Yeah, I'd say way less so than John Cusack. I like this guy a lot more.
Yeah. I think this is also another problem, is the fact that he is so likable, and the fact that they have really good chemistry together. So you're kind of like, why doesn't she like him? And why don't these, spoiler alert, two kids end up together? That's
not even a spoiler. They tell you that right in the very beginning of the movie.
Not necessarily. Well,
Morgan Freeman, or the guy that's not Morgan Freeman,
our wonderful narrator. That. Yeah. So they kind of do, but they kind of don't, because you see them breaking up on day 300 and something or whatever. This movie is called 500 Days of Summer because Zoe Deschanel plays the character of Summer. And, we go from day 1, which is the day that Tom realizes she exists, to day 500 when pretty much they've run the course and
the spell is broken.
And that's it. And this movie jumps around a lot, so I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try to go through the plot of this, but we're probably just going to talk a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
they start the movie out with pretty much with them breaking up to a degree. You know, we get a few little scenes before that, but there's still like 100 days left. So in my mind, having never seen this movie and not really knowing how it ended, I assumed that these other 100 days were more or less going to be them figuring out how to get back together. And, you know, there was going to be some romantic grand gesture or something.
I think you might have seen too many romance movies.
At this point, I think maybe.
You might be really expected something that ain't going to happen every time.
Maybe 22 too many. Yeah. So, but well, let's get into it. The movie starts out, we get almost the last day first, but you don't realize it.
Yes, them on the park bench.
We get two of them sitting on a park bench. They look at each other. No words are exchanged, just a smile. She puts her hand on his hand. She's wearing a gigantic rock on her finger. So, you know, engaged.
Yeah, she married Mr. Big, I think.
It's certainly, we never see the guy. It's possible. But, you know, you're left to wonder, not even wonder. I think, like, it's almost implied that it's going to be Tom when you first see that. Like, you don't have any reason to not think that she's marrying him. Then we get our narration, which I thought the narrator was an interesting choice. I don't really...
Well, if you're going to get a guy that sounds that close to Morgan Freeman, he was around. I'm sure he would have taken the money.
It just, you know, I guess because... It almost sets it up in like a fairy tale situation, I feel like.
Yes.
Like it's like a mythical, because that's kind of how Tom sees the world and sees summer. It's kind of like this, like The Princess Bride should have had this narrator, not this movie, but I can kind of see why they did it. And he kind of sets up both characters where Tom is a...
How cool would this movie have been if Columbo was narrating it?
Would have loved it. I think he was probably past
From The Princess Bride, that would have been amazing.
Just telling Fred Savage this story of incel love. No, he kind of sets up the characters. So Tom is a hopeless romantic for all the wrong reasons. Like, he believes in true love because he's super into 80s, like, British sad pop, like fucking Morrissey and the Smiths and...
Yeah, nobody actually likes the Smiths,
The
right?
Cure. I don't know anybody that does.
Yeah.
So I guess if you do find someone that also likes them, you should try to marry them. That's what I guess. So he likes that, and we're told that he has a really he misinterpreted the movie The Graduate, which have you ever seen The Graduate?
No, it's on the list though, right?
It's not. I don't think that's a chick flick.
No.
Maybe somebody could let us know. We'll have to look into that. I don't think it is, but it's a very much like our main characters end up together, but you're not sure if you should be happy. They're not sure if they should be happy. No one's sure if they like. It's very muddled.
Gotcha.
And not like a great...
Not a great demonstration.
It's not a great
love.
relationship. Yeah, it's not like one that you think is built to last. But, you know, Tom misunderstands this apparently. So this is where he's gotten his, you know, idea that there's one true love for everyone, one person for everyone. And then we see Summer, who just not a romantic, doesn't believe in love. Her parents divorced when she was young.
It's sort of a change of roles, isn't it? Normally it's like the lady's the romantic and
yeah, a lot
the
of times
guy's
it is.
like
Yeah.
the hardened.
I mean, we've seen it all. We've seen the business-oriented woman who doesn't have time for love. We've seen, you know, the hopeless romantic woman who is all about weddings and has been planning her perfect wedding forever. We've seen Julia Roberts running from weddings. We've seen it all.
Yeah. Now we have a 20-something that's just like, look, I'm just here to get laid.
Yeah, which I think is the most realistic woman we've had on the podcast. The most. I mean, this is 2024. Like, this is how girls kind of a lot of times, and it's fine. Yeah. But these people exist, and it's fine. It's totally fine. Everything's fine. You know, and we get a really good line. I like that. They said the only things that she ever loved in her life was her long dark hair, and the fact that she could cut it off and feel absolutely nothing. This is dark.
That's a Smith's line, for sure, right?
I don't know.
Like, did Morrissey write this movie?
I don't know. It was very dark. So we get a little flashback of the two of them to kind of learn who they are, and then we start, and then we pan ahead to, like I said, this movie jumps around, so we get title cards. You know, it'll say day 364, day 1, day 2, and I did really like, aesthetically, I love this movie. I'll be honest, like the way they shot it, and like the way it jumped around, and what I liked a lot was with the title cards, they changed depending on how the relationship was going. I don't know if you noticed that, but if it was early in the relationship, they were very bright, sunny, and happy. And towards the end, when things weren't going so good,
yeah, the trees don't have leaves on them.
They were very dark and like, you know. So we jump to the day that she decides that she doesn't want to see Tom anymore, and we get our first appearance from Chloe Grace Moretz.
Hit girl.
Hit girl, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And spoiler alert, I'm not connecting her directly to Nicolas Cage in this one, although it would have been so easy.
I thought about that
But
the entire time.
I like a challenge. So, his friends call her in. She's his little sister, which she's probably, 11?
Just biking around in the middle of the night to go solve problems.
Just wise beyond her years. Like, she gives better relationship advice to this grown man than any of his grown friends do, his coworkers, anyone his own age, people older than him. She rides her bike through downtown Los Angeles in the middle of the night, which is perfectly safe.
That's
from
cool.
wherever they live, and shows up at his apartment, and we get our first glimpse of unhinged Tom, who is just smashing plates in his kitchen. Like, dead stare, like nothing behind the eyes, just smashing plates off the counter.
Have you ever broke up so hard you're breaking your own shit?
No, I never have.
No,
I'm not one of those guys. Never punched a hole in drywall, never broke a plate. No, I usually just curl up and cry. That's my MO.
Have you ever seen somebody punch holes through a drywall? Like in the movies, their hand goes right through. In real life, they almost always hit a stud and break all their fingers. I've seen this no less than 10 times in my life. Like a guy turn around and go, "I'm so mad," and punch a wall and pull their finger away, and their finger's just sideways completely.
I never have seen this.
It is awesome. I highly recommend it.
I was just thinking, like, how did this guy not cut his hand? He's like holding the plate as he breaks it off the counter. And his sister comes and she tells his two friends, you were smart to call me. And she kind of talks to him and finds out like what exactly happened, asks, were they fighting? Was everything going okay? And they just show a cut to a scene of her just saying, "Hey, I don't think we should see each other anymore." He says, "Why? Everything's going good. I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy." She says, "You're happy. We act like Sid and Nancy, which is there were some great lines there. She goes, "You act like Sid and Nancy." He goes, "Sid stabbed Nancy 7 times with a kitchen knife. I don't feel like that." She goes, No, I'm Sid."
Yes. Great line.
He goes, "So what, I'm Nancy?" So she's clearly not happy. But this whole movie is just, it's always, she makes me feel, this is how I feel when I'm around her. This is what I like. It's never, there's literally, like I said, nothing to her character in a way where you shouldn't assume that she likes this guy because they don't give you a reason to assume that she likes this guy. And it's done that way.
That's the one thing I liked about this, or I noticed about this, is that there was nothing that he really did wrong.
No.
It was just not going to happen from the get-go.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really like the fact that, like, she knew that he was in love at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't end it right there. Like, there's a point where you got to go, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was a booty call.
Yeah.
Like, we were going to get weird in an IKEA and then eventually roam away from each other. Like, you went and caught feelings. Go away.
It's 500 days of summer. They're not together the entire 500 days, but I'd say for a good maybe 250 of it, they're dating.
They are dating, even though she won't admit.
That's more than a booty call.
Yes.
That's more than just friends, I would say.
There's a shit or get off the pot.
It's complicated.
Mentality.
It is complicated, yeah. I would say. There probably are things about him that she likes, and she does have fun when she's around him. She enjoys being around him. It's not just I don't think about sex. Like, she finds him interesting. And just for whatever reason, he doesn't give her the warm and tinglies and the fuzzies inside. So then we flash back to day one when he meets her. Tom works for a greeting card company writing greeting cards.
This is one of the weirder and cooler jobs. Somebody's got to do this, right?
It felt very rom-com-y to me. Like this was like shoehorned in just to have these office interactions and the cards and like the fun boss, the nice boss.
Yeah, Mr. Coulson.
Yeah, Agent Coulson from the Avengers, Clark Gregg. But, we find out that Summer's character is Agent Coulson's assistant at the greeting card company. Tom sees her and, immediate sploosh face when she walks into the office to bring him a coffee or whatever.
Them bangs.
I mean, I'll be honest. I sploosh a bit for Zooey Deschanel. I like her a lot. I think she's adorable. But he splooshes hard.
I watched 9 years worth of Mean Girl. Or
New Girl?
New Girl, yeah. I watched
absolutely.
9 years worth of New Girl.
Yeah. He sees her. We go to like day 3 or 4. And his friend Mackenzie, who is the Snozzberries Taste Like Snozzberries guy from Super Troopers.
You caught it too, immediately.
Yeah.
That guy, he plays a douchebag in this movie. Couldn't really get behind the character.
He's funny, though.
Do you know who his wife is?
I think he was married to Christina Hendricks, which blew me away.
Yeah.
Because he's funny, buddy. Make him laugh and you make him breakfast. You
That's
said
right.
it yourself. Like, that's how it works. Yeah.
He's even funny looking, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he is a real goofy best friend guy.
All praise be to our Lord and Savior, Julia Roberts. She married Lyle Lovett at one point. So, I mean, sometimes looks don't matter, buddy. Sometimes they don't matter.
That's true. I mean, I got married.
I think you're very handsome.
Aw, thanks, Ma.
You're welcome. It's my little boy. You know, but we get him telling Tom, oh, the new girl, you know, one of the guys tried to talk to her in the copy room and she wasn't having it. She's a bitch.
Yeah, a little aggressive.
It's very incel-y. All right, I'm going to say this for later. Yeah, very incelish. And Tom's like, oh, why do all the pretty girls have to be mean? Why do they act like they're so much better than everybody else? You know, typical. This is very much just...
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm nice. Why don't they like me? So, you know, his guard's up. He immediately is like, well, you know, this girl clearly wouldn't talk to Patel from the lunchroom or whatever. So, fuck her. A couple days later, he's in the elevator with his headphones on, listening to the Smiths. She gets on. His walls are up. Blinders are on. Not really giving her the time of day. She can hear his music through his headphones. First of all, too loud. Way too loud.
Yeah. For an elevator, yeah.
Yeah, if you can hear somebody else's music clearly through their headphones, you're doing some serious damage to your
ears. If you're doing anything where you can hear somebody else's music unprompted, they're too fucking loud.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But she hears that it's the Smiths and, you know, kind of taps him on the shoulder and says, oh, you like the Smiths? You know, I love the Smiths. And this just blows his mind because, like you said, nobody likes the fucking Smiths or Morrissey.
Yeah.
So...
Which, you know what, at least it was the Smiths, because when I saw that this was Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I totally assumed this was going to be just a fucking Target commercial for 2 hours. Like, that sort of Belle and Sebastian music going on in the background. It
still is, like, a good bit, though.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure... Am I wrong? Like, but during the opening sequence when they're showing, like, the old videos of them when they're young, is that her singing?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way she sings.
She has a band, yeah.
I mean, she's got a good voice, but it's very much like that folk rock.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of expecting, too. But, I mean, overall music in this movie wasn't terrible. I'd still say it's better than most of the ones we've seen so far. So, like, High Fidelity is probably high watermark for me where music comes into the movie. This might come number 2, because I did like some of the music in this. Especially during the karaoke scenes.
No complaints.
So this kind of kicks off, you know, where Tom's like, oh, and very much like High Fidelity, he is so wrapped up in what a person likes kind of makes them who they are. You know, it was always with John Cusack's character, it was like, you have to like the same music as me. You have to, you know. So this kind of triggers that whole, this relationship. Because now he knows that she likes something he likes, so there must be something there. We flash forward a little bit more. There's going to be a party for one of their coworkers who's getting married. It's going to be at a karaoke bar. They're doing like karaoke happy hour.
This should happen more often, honestly.
I wish it would. My God. You know me. I don't say no to karaoke, even though I probably should sometimes. And Mackenzie, his friend from across his cubicle, Snosberry's guy, tells him, hey, there's going to be, you know, this thing, office party. And Summer's going to be there. The whole office is going. Wink, wink. You know, you should come too. He does. We get like a fun little scene. Like we get everybody getting their little time to shine. Snosberry's guy, when they walk in, he's already obliterated, drunk, singing "Every Rose Has Its Thorn."
That is every single karaoke I've ever been to.
It really is. It's very
that song specifically.
Yeah, it's definitely one.
This scene actually, like, I noticed, like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's a fantastic actor to begin with.
Yeah.
He plays a really good drunk. Like, him being drunk in this scene, like, he was perfect. Like, the way he looked at her, the way, everything. I loved it.
See, in my notes, I actually have written down, this is some of the worst drunk acting I've ever seen.
You're out of your mind.
But I don't think it's him. I think it's the friend more than anything.
Oh, his friend's terrible
like he's over the top. I didn't think JGL, we'll call him, for
JGL.
For time constraints. Well, JGL.
We only got an hour here.
Yeah, JGL wasn't terrible in this scene, although I thought as the movie went on, and he what seemed to have turned into more of an alcoholic as the movie progressed. He's got that good, like, flop sweat, like, drunk.
Well, he had, like, every time she would respond to him, he would throw in an extra millisecond before he responded
Yeah.
back, just to say like, "Oh, I'm still processing."
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And this scene also bothered the hell out of me. Is which karaoke have you ever gone to where they don't have "Born to Run" by Bruce Springsteen, but they do have what was the
Sugarland by Nancy Sinatra? That's what she
or
sings.
the Pixies?
The
Like,
Pixies I could see, Here Comes Your Man, but they should all have... Well, first of all, I also thought that was going to trigger you after the last time we had Bruce Springsteen
I don't
in the
hate
movie.
Bruce.
Okay.
I like Bruce.
All right.
Just you know,
Thank God he didn't just pop
he
up.
wasn't shoehorned into the movie. Yeah, he wasn't like hanging out in the background like, "Oh, this is my
He
song."
didn't stop by the table. Does anybody need a beer?
Yeah.
But yeah, we get, they sit down. She sings, he sings. You can kind of tell that there's a little bit of chemistry. Like, she's charmed in a way by him. He's up there singing the Pixies.
Totally.
And, karaoke's a great way to find out if somebody likes you or not.
Break down the walls, man.
Yeah, I feel like it. And I feel like if,
Because you really are seeing somebody at their worst when they're doing karaoke.
Yeah, and if you're really bad and they're charmed by that, great. And if you're good and you impress them, also great. You can find out a lot about a relationship by doing karaoke with someone you're interested in. But they sit down at the table, the two of them and the drunk friend, and they kind of start at, the drunk friend. Which I like this device where they just had the drunk friend ask all the questions to get the exposition out there. Kind of ask her, like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? And she says no. And this is where we find out that she doesn't believe in love. She doesn't think love exists. Like, she's never felt it with anybody. She doesn't want to have a boyfriend. She doesn't want to be owned by someone. Doesn't want to be property of someone. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is kind of, hey, it exists. Like, what happens if you feel it one day? And she's like, I just never have. Like, I don't. They agree to disagree. At the end of the night, drunk friend is super drunk at this point, ripping his shirt off, singing Proud to Be an American on stage, which I liked a lot. A weird karaoke choice. And they go to shove him in a cab, and as they shove him in the cab, he says, hey, he really likes you. And he shoves him right in and just slams the door on
What a
him.
wingman,
Yeah,
actually.
he is a good wingman. And, she says, well, is that true? That you like me? You just like me as friends? Or he's like, oh, yeah, just like you as friends. So obviously, this is his first mistake, is he
doesn't really put his emotions on Front Street.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty fucking obvious.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And she's being very flirtatious, and we get a moment where it looks like they might kiss. There's a very long, awkward pause between the two of them. And then she leaves and goes her own way. Next day, he's making copies, and she walks into the copy room and just plants one on him.
Not in this workforce.
Well, it was
Buddy,
2009.
HR.
It was 2009.
I'm ready for HR to bust out from behind the stoop like Snoop Dogg and Half Baked.
I think at this point, like, she knows that he's going to reciprocate.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem. Oh, it's not a problem. It's his fault, because she's not looking for anything serious. But it's obvious that he likes her and is attracted to her. But he said, like, I just like you as a friend. It's not like he was like, hey, I'd like to date you. I'm looking to see where this goes. So she comes in and does assault him a little bit in the copy room, but he enjoys it. And from here, they're dating. And we get, little scenes throughout the time. And this is where the movie really kind of jumps around a lot.
Holy cow, yeah.
Because you go from, like, good times to bad times, back to good times. And they kind of play it out, like, you kind of see...
They get little montages where there's like a scene where they're kind of sitting there, people watching, making fun of people together and giggling. And then it cuts to closer to the breakup where he's doing the same thing. Like, he never really changes.
Yeah.
She kind of changes. She's just like, wow, you seem really judgmental.
Yeah, you can just tell she's kind of getting tired of his shtick.
Yeah.
It just isn't... she's here for a good time, not a long time, shall we say. And it's starting to wear thin on her where he doesn't see it. Like, he can't pick up the cues. He's not noticing that things aren't as good. We get a big scene towards the beginning of the relationship where they go on a date to IKEA. She's doing some shopping because she just moved into town. So she's looking for a new Frugen or a Kirschstop or whatever a
Billy bookcase.
Yeah, whatever you pick up at the local IKEA.
Meatballs.
You get some meatballs. And they're kind of running through, pretending like all the little rooms are their homes. And it's a cute scene. Very, very early relationship bullshit.
Have you never, like, flirted in an IKEA?
No.
No?
I have not.
I guess I haven't really either.
I mean, your wife worked at IKEA, right? Can I say that on the podcast?
Yeah, so basically when I went to IKEA with her, she's like, don't touch me. Stand 3 feet behind me. Act like we don't know each other. I don't want these people to know anything about me.
I'll get you some meatballs at the end of the tour.
Yeah, basically.
Now, my whole time in IKEA is always just like, how the fuck do I get out of here? That's usually my main concern when I go into IKEA. Because if you go the wrong way, you got to walk through the whole store again. And it takes a solid hour.
It has nothing to do with the movie. There are hidden passages.
To get through faster?
It was amazing. Following my wife be like, she'd open up drapes and just walk through the wall.
She'd pull one of the fake books off the shelf and a whole wall would open up.
Oh God, it's like a game of Clue. Hanging out in IKEA with somebody that actually worked there.
Oh God, you know what? I would like to see a movie where there's like people trapped in an IKEA, like a murder mystery in an IKEA or something. I think that'd be a good time.
Oh, there goes my chick flick to a dick flick. No.
We've strayed from the path. Much like I have at IKEA and gotten lost. But yeah, so we see that where they're all having a really nice time, and there's this running gag where every kitchen they go into, the sinks broke. And then we see another clip of them later in the relationship where he's like trying all these sinks. He's like, well, this one doesn't work either. This one doesn't work either. And she's just rolling her eyes. She's like, I'm fucking so over this. We're all done here. And then we get a lot of, scenes where you only see a little bit of the scene. So there's a running thing where she's a big fan of Ringo Starr. And
again, who likes Ringo Starr?
I don't know. It seemed odd. But he pulls out an album and shows it to her. And the first time we see the scene, she smiles and it's cute. And then you get a little bit more of that scene later on, and it's actually her rolling her eyes. Because his sister and his friends keep saying, well, maybe look back a little bit. Like, weren't there any signs, any cues that, like, things were not going as well as you had hoped? And we get to kind of see this, where he didn't pick up on any of this stuff. And we weren't shown it, so we didn't know either. And then we're kind of clued into it as he realizes that things weren't going so great. And that there was never really the real connection there.
It's, to quote a great band, That Handsome Devil, you need to know if behind those rose-colored glasses you've got a diamond in the rough, or just colored contact lenses and a rough fucking stripper named Diamond.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, he has some rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just him projecting what he wants on this person and not really paying attention. She put it up front the entire time. I mean, right from the gate, it's actually in the IKEA scene. They finally run to, like, a bedroom set and lay down in the bed. And she says, I want casual. Like, I'm not really looking to date. I just want casual. Is that okay with you? And of course he says yes. And, like, this is, like, part for me where I've been through this, where, someone tells you they're not really looking for anything serious, but you really like them, and you just think that, like, you're so fucking charming. And, like,
you'll make it work.
And it's meant to be, so that, like, you'll accept that and lie to them and say, yeah, the casual's totally fine. Meanwhile, you just keep waiting for, like, that switch to...
I'm gonna wear her down to love me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, and I could put myself in his shoes so much in the situation where, yeah, you say yes, because eventually, you know what she really wants. She doesn't know what she wants. Everybody wants to be loved in a relationship. Everybody wants that, is what you think. Meanwhile, there's people out there that are just totally fine with being free and happy.
Yeah.
So he says yes, and then they sleep together for the first time. And this might be my favorite scene of the movie. They don't have sex, but the next morning, when he leaves his apartment, and You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates is playing.
Yeah.
And it's just that strut, that walk, where he's just feeling great. Like
he turned into Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3, where he's just dancing down the street.
But way better. It's funny you mentioned that. Do you know that the director of this movie directed The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
But not 3, the one where Tobey Maguire does that dance?
The Maguire ones were Sam Raimi.
Oh.
He did the Andrew Garfield ones. I just thought it was funny there was a Spider-Man connection. And the guy's last name is Webb, which I think is even more interesting.
That's very convenient.
Mark Webb. But yeah, so he starts walking down the street and he's kind of like smiling and happy. And then it starts to become less and less in reality, where like people in the street are high-fiving him and like shaking his hand.
Yeah,
and
cartoon
like,
birds land
running up and giving him a hug. And then it turns into a full-on dance number. It's like all this is in his head, obviously.
You catch they're all wearing blue. Everybody's wearing blue.
There's a lot of blue in this movie. And the reason for that was, which she's not even in this scene, but they wanted to bring out Zooey Deschanel's eyes. I read this. So there was a very specific color palette for this movie built around this woman's eyes. And that probably is, in his mind, like, she's got these beautiful blue eyes. So, like, in his
So what you're saying is the director also put her on a pedestal?
I guess so, but in his fantasy dance number, everyone's wearing blue. It's probably... It has a deeper meaning, whenever everyone is wearing blue, which I didn't catch that, but that makes sense. Like, it's probably has something to do with the fact that she has these beautiful blue eyes. So we get that, and then we just kind of go through the relationship until it eventually falls apart, where she tells him that she doesn't want to see him anymore. So they break up, and then, he kind of goes into a very deep downward spiral.
Yeah, he does.
One of the worst parts, I thought. Clark Gregg, his boss, calls him in, and he's always writing these greeting cards and everything. And he's like, "Hey, your work's kind of been suffering. I feel like, is everything okay? Like, did someone die? Like, did something happen at home?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Well, here's a card that you wrote."
Yes.
I can't remember.
I have it written down here.
Please tell me what it says exactly.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Fuck you, whore.
Yeah. How is that okay?
Not only that, he went through the effort of... it was a card he was reading. He went through the effort of printing up a sample
Well, that's
card.
what I was wondering, was like, do they just print cards without reading what the guys come up with?
Which, as somebody that, I have a lot of goofy friends, I would 100% buy that card for one of my friends.
Oh, yeah, it'd be hilarious.
That is a card they should make.
But that's not what that was, and I don't... I just saw that, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's the worst. That was a very low moment for JGL.
One of my favorite parts of this movie, though, is the idea that he's such a romantic that he works for a greeting card company, and because of his personality, he writes the love cards.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's in such a dark, deep place that Coulson, Clark Gregg, instead of firing him, is just like, "Hey, man, maybe we'll put you on the sympathy cards."
Yeah, they move him to the grief department.
Which, that whole concept is fucking brilliant, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. Why don't you channel this negative energy somewhere where it would be better spent, and we'll get you away from romance and love.
Imagine if you had a bad day at work and they were like, "Hey, man, we're just going to move you to the bad day department."
Yeah. I don't know if this is how Hallmark works, but it's actually kind of an ingenious idea. You just work on what you're feeling that day. But, he has that moment, and then he finally just kind of has it at work. They're pitching ideas in their weekly meeting. And he basically is just like, this is all bullshit. This poor guy who was a hopeless romantic is so jaded now that he doesn't believe in love anymore.
Yes.
And it just stands up, kind of says, we feed people bullshit. We're giving people an out because they can't say what they really feel. So we're telling them what they should feel and what the right things to say. And just says, I can't do it anymore. I quit.
He's lost the love.
He's lost the love, but this is actually kind of a moment of growth for him, because there's throughout the movie we find out that he went to school to be an architect. How architecture school qualifies you to write greeting cards, I don't know. But he couldn't cut it as an architect, couldn't find a job, so he settled on this. But now that he's out of there, we get a few weeks of depression and just him in bed, eating Twinkies and
living in a robe,
drinking Jack Daniels. And does the train ride and the wedding come before he finally really gets his shit together? I think it does.
I think the train ride is right before this point of depression. I think the train ride is what throws him into that depression.
You're right. He hasn't quit his job, right? He hasn't quit his job yet.
Yeah, that all happens after the train ride.
Okay.
Which happens before the train ride in the actual movie.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
They show him being depressed, and they show you why he's depressed.
Much like this movie jumps around as are we, because it's hard to keep track sometimes.
I can't believe I thought about this earlier. Is you do this without notes?
Yeah.
You just remember all these movies off the top of your head.
It's hard. This one's especially hard for me. But after the breakup, and they haven't been together for a little while, we get a few things. His friends try to set him up on a blind date, which is awful friend.
With poor Allison.
Yeah, awful friend maneuver, because he's not in a good headspace, but they send her out with him, and he kind of just spills his guts to her about what happened with the relationship, why it didn't work out. And she flat out says to him what we all saw at this point. Was like, well, she never, did she cheat on you? No. Did she use you for anything? No. And she told you right up front that she wasn't really interested in anything serious? Yeah. And this kind of breaks his brain, because he's like, God damn it. Wow. Yeah. She's not at fault. She's not a bad guy. So we get that. And then we get...
The other thing about that is they go on this date.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible from the get-go. And they go on the entire date. This is a 10-minute scene. And all I can think is why is this girl still here? I would have left during dinner. I would have been like, I'm sorry, let me...
Well, God bless her, because he's right up front. It's like, it's like the beginning of the date, they're walking down the street, like they've just met, and they're kind of like getting to know each other. And he's like, I should really tell you, like, I know that my friend set me up in this date, but I'm not really
he shoots the date right there.
In a place to see anybody. But she just keeps on going. So, I mean, maybe she was just lonely and bored. So she was like, well, I want to see where this thing goes.
Yeah, she's like, maybe Idol's not on this week.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So we get that. And then we cut to, he's kind of finally seemingly coming out of his funk a little bit. And he is getting on a train to go to the coworker's wedding from the greeting card company. He hasn't quit at this point. I apologize. I'm all over the place. But just, spoiler alert, he quits a little bit after this. But he's on a train to go to this wedding. And lo and behold, Summer is on the train as well. Because while she no longer works at the greeting card company, after they broke up, she got another job. She's on her way to the wedding too. And he sees her. He tries to avoid having to talk to her. But she catches him on the train, invites him to the beverage car for a coffee. Mm-hmm. And they really just are doing well together. They're hitting it off. They're talking, they're laughing, they're smiling.
They get right back into it.
Yeah, they do. The wedding is very nice. They kind of go together. They both compliment each other on how nice they look for the wedding. They're at the reception. They're dancing together. And this whole time, he's obviously thinking that she's interested still, and there's still a connection there and a spark. Meanwhile, we find out that that's not true. I think she, at this point, is just kind of like, okay, well, we've gotten past the awkwardness of the breakup, and now we can just be friends, and it's nice.
This is the scene where I turned on her a little.
It is, especially in retrospect, knowing what you know after this.
Well, no, she knows that they broke up because he was hopelessly in love, and she wasn't into it. She goes through this entire weekend without referencing the fact that she is in a committed, serious relationship with somebody she actually does like.
Yeah.
She just goes right back into it with a weekend, like, let's relive our relationship for one weekend.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to invite you to a party at my house. Like, the right way of doing this would have been be cordial, hope to get through the weekend, also make sure that he knows that, like, you are not interested.
Yeah.
Like, this was, I feel like she was leading him on.
Yeah.
And this was one of the few times where I was like, I think she's in the wrong.
I agree. And they actually, this comes up later and we'll talk about it. She gives a reason for why she did what she did, and I don't like any of it. But yeah, so the weekend goes nicely. Clearly, he's given the wrong impression. At least in his mind, he has the wrong impression. She tells him that she's having a party at her place the next weekend and invites him. I love this scene. So we get a split shot labeled. One says expectation, one says reality.
Coolest scene in the movie.
It's a very cool scene. Like I said, stylistically, I love this movie. And we get a side-by-side, two different shots of him walking up to the apartment, what he thinks is going to happen, what actually happens, On the expectation side, we see him, he knocks on the door, she greets him with a kiss, he gives her a gift, she absolutely loves it, embraces him. They spend the whole evening talking to each other away from the group. Reality side, he gets a very cold welcome. I don't want to say cold, but like a friendly welcome at the door. It's not like a romantic welcome.
You actually showed up.
Yeah, like a hand on the shoulder, like, thanks for stopping by. The gift is, she thanks him for the gift, but she's not like blown away or doesn't melt her heart.
She doesn't even open it right off.
Yeah. And then, during the scene on the left, which is expectation, where they're together the entire night, like he's kind of stuck at this party talking to a bunch of strangers. He's off by himself a good bit, off to the side, really not interacting with her at all. And I really like this part because there's kind of the expectation side of the screen kind of slowly starts going away altogether. And by the time it exits the frame, the camera spins from him to like what he's looking at, and it's her showing her friend an engagement ring on her hand.
Yeah.
After knowing this, it does make the wedding thing even worse for me. And like, you sat on the train and talked all this time, presumably catching up on your life, what's been going on. Maybe mention that you got engaged to someone. Also, like, I need to go back and watch like this movie again, I think, and look at the day cards and see from the time they broke up to the time they saw each other again and when she got engaged. It was like a month.
They do reference. It was fast.
Yeah, it was very fast.
You know what? That's the thing. And she even states at one point, hey, I didn't expect that to happen. One day you're kind of sitting around and some guy approaches you. Next thing you know, 2 months later, you're getting married.
Yeah.
That's her fucking choice.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think she should have been more truthful to him. And she should have never invited him to that damn party.
No.
Never.
Where was her fiance at during this party? Like, don't you think if he's there for a couple hours, shouldn't that guy have been there? And wouldn't he have seen them interacting at some point?
You would have thought.
Yeah. Very strange. So he gets up and runs out the door. And this is where we get the real deep depression, where it's day after day. You get the day cards like day 351, 352, 353. It's just him in bed. The Twinkie wrappers are piling up on the nightstand. We get like a half a day card where it's like day 351 and a half. And it's just him going to the liquor store, getting a bottle of Jack.
Yelling at some people on the street.
And like 20 more Twinkies in his bathrobe. And then he slowly comes out of his funk. And he starts to... This is when he quits his job. He quits his job during the funk, during the Twinkie and Jack Daniels binge. And then he kind of snaps out of it, and he starts to look for a new job. He starts to get back into architecture. He's reading all these books. He's practicing for interviews. He goes and
he's showering.
He's showering. He's going on interviews. He's cleaning up his apartment. And this is where we're getting towards the end of the movie. He shares a spot with Summer early in the movie. It's like his favorite spot in the city where you can sit and kind of see some of the great architecture. They're in Los Angeles. It's like his favorite spot to sit and look at buildings. And he goes to this spot just because he always goes there. It's like where he likes to go. And she happens to be there. Seemingly, she says, "Oh, I thought I might see you here." Maybe looking for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is also strange because,
she also references it's the day after her wedding.
Is it the day after her
wedding?
wedding?
That is the day after her wedding, she says.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like when he sees the ring... And, she goes, yeah, she says something like, we got married yesterday.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Why is she there the day after her wedding? And this leads me to a little theory I had, which I actually Googled this and found out other people have had this theory.
Okay.
She's not actually there. That is a scene of him imagining her there.
Really?
To finally kind of let her go and break the spell.
Oh.
He's imagining her happy. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's what they really intended. But even JGL has said in, interviews, yeah, I think it's fun to think, maybe she's not actually there for that scene.
Oh, that's interesting. But they have a nice little heart-to-heart. I guess you can call it nice. It's like a gut punch for me, though, because he asks her, how, you told me you didn't want a relationship. You didn't believe in love, and now you're married. How'd you get married? She, well... I met someone that made me feel all the things that I didn't feel when I was with you. And I was like, oh, it hurt. It hurt.
And then she pulled out a gun and shot him in the liver and left.
Yeah. But yeah, they talk about it. And this is the one thing I didn't like.
That's no longer going to be his happiest place.
Yeah, I know, right? I shouldn't say it's the one thing I didn't like. But yeah, you know what? That is bullshit of her. That's his one place. That's his fortress of solitude. That's his favorite place.
That's what I mean.
And she shows up there after breaking his heart and wants to have a conversation. It does end well, but 9 times out of 10, in reality, that probably doesn't end well.
I mean, it's safe to say that the entire time they're in a relationship, he's pretty much in the wrong. After they break up, she does the wrong.
I don't even think he's in the wrong. He's just dumb. And he doesn't do anything wrong. He's just not the guy for her. They're not meant to be together, basically. Okay. He doesn't see it. So I don't think either one of them is necessarily the bad guy. But I don't like the way she handles some of this. When he asks her, well, why, that weekend of the wedding, why did you dance with me? You were engaged at this point. Why did you want to dance with me? And she goes, because I wanted to. That's not a good reason. You could have said, hey, I thought we were in a place where it was just friendly.
Use better
we've gotten over the awkward stages. Yeah, there should have been something better than that. He finally says, hey, I'm happy to see that you're happy. I'm getting better. I'll be okay. I'm fixing things, I'm looking for a better job. I'm going to get over it. It's like anything. Breakups are tough. You get over them. There's a long time where it's not great. And then sometimes one day it's just better. Or it slowly gets better, whatever. But he's in that stage now where he knows he's not over her. But he's getting there. And he can see that he's getting there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. He's going to be all right. She's happy. He's happy that she's happy. Shake hands and move on. It was nice seeing you. Whatever. And we get one final scene where he's going for an interview. And the whole thing is kind of the narrator saying, he didn't believe in fate at this time. But her words, because she told him, I met the guy I married. I went to a cafe and I was reading a book and he asked about it. She's like, I could have gone anywhere else. Like, I could have gone to a movie that day. I could have done it. I might not have met him. So she's like, fate is real. Like, everything happens for a reason. Like, you meet people for reasons. Because he doesn't believe this anymore after what happened with the two of them. Mm-hmm. And her words kind of stick with him. He goes on a job interview. There's a girl sitting there who's interviewing for the same position. She recognizes him because she's seen him sitting at his favorite spot in the city on that park bench. And he's never noticed her before, but she's noticed him. So as he gets up to go in for the interview, he comes back and he goes, you know what? We're meeting for a reason. You know, would you like to get coffee? And then she drops the bomb. My name is Autumn.
Yeah, and I
was like, sequel!
He actually stares at the camera for a second. Like, that was a bit much.
He goes full John Cusack.
Yeah, like he actually...
he breaks the fourth wall. Yeah, because, 500 Days of Summer, and now we're moving on to Autumn.
Yes.
Yeah, eventually he's going to marry a girl named Winter.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. Oh, you better believe she is. I'm sorry. I apologize. And that's our movie. Like, that's how it ends.
Yeah, Minka Kelly. That's all.
Yeah, which she's like a bigger name to a degree. Like, I know of her.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a very small role, so that's why I kind of thought, which I didn't get a chance to look into this. I don't know if there were plans for a sequel.
No, there couldn't be.
I mean, you cast a pretty big name actress in this tiny part, and you went for 500 Days of Summer, and now he's going to date a girl named Autumn. You don't think there's going to be a 500 Days of Autumn?
No, this feels like a one and done.
I don't know. I thought there was going to be I thought we were getting the sequel. And it just never happened. It didn't pan out. I mean, this movie was relatively successful. It was considered an indie film. It was made for $7 million. It made like 66.7. It did really well.
Okay.
It like debuted at Sundance. It was like a big indie hit at the time. So, I mean, maybe they were hoping. They threw that in there at the end, like hoping for a little sequel spin-off action or something.
I don't think a lot of these romance movies get sequels.
I don't know.
I mean, My Big Fat Greek Wedding still, they're going to
there's
be
like
that
7
into the
of
ground,
those.
but,
Yeah. So.
Yeah, all right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who knows? All right. Well, that's that. CJ, would you like to give this movie any flowers or books about architecture?
I don't know, man. This is another introspective movie where I've said it before, and I feel like it's a little incel-y the way I say it, so I feel like I need to explain it. Is like, you shouldn't put a woman on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Or you shouldn't put boyfriend, woman, girl, like, hey, whoever you're dating on a pedestal. And I don't mean that as a way like you should look down on them. Like, the relationship should be equal. Mm-hmm. And if you're at the point where like it's, you've been dating a while and you're still completely pining for this person, even though like you should be in love with them, but you shouldn't be worried about everything that they're thinking about you. It should be an equal thing.
Yeah.
And that's really where, like, for this guy, like, where I felt with him, where he was just hopeless.
Yeah. He's a hopeless romantic. I mean, I could relate to him a lot, actually, and not the incel parts, but just the hopeless romantic. And they can spell it out for you in so many ways and give you so many signs, and you just keep thinking, like, oh, eventually she's going to realize what she doesn't realize, and that's life, man. There's people out there like that.
And it's also, like, this was a good one of, like, a normal relationship breakup. He does some dumb stuff. She does some dumb stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't over the top.
I come from the school of thought that there's no such thing as a terrible relationship in your past. There's just a lot of learning experiences.
Yeah.
Like, you're learning how to be for the good relationship coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're learning about yourself. You're learning about who you are through these terrible breakups.
Yeah.
And once you're through the end of it, it's what's going to inspire you being better.
You're molding yourself into the right person.
Yeah, like, you have a lady friend now. If you would have met her in high school, you would have fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
It'd have been terrible.
Yeah.
Even though you feel like, hey, we're perfect for each other right now, you're perfect because of all the terrible stuff that's happened.
Exactly.
So, all right, that's me on my pedestal. I'm going to go ahead and get off of it right now.
I always put you on a pedestal, CJ. You never come down from that thing.
Buddy.
So
just because I edit a podcast doesn't mean I'm anything special.
I only have, like, really one thing that I find interesting. It's the only thing not the only thing I find interesting about this movie, but when I say that, like, this guy is yet another incel, I'm 1,000% positive that he's an incel. Because this movie was written by a guy who based this entire story off of a real-life relationship that he had.
I have my very first note. Fuck Jenny Beckman.
Exactly. I don't know if you know. I mean, obviously,
Is that a real person?
That is a real person who this story is based on.
Wow.
At the beginning of this story, there is a disclaimer, an author's note, saying that any likeness to people in this movie is completely, I don't know the wording of it, but you've all seen that.
Yeah, it's completely coincidental.
Yeah, completely coincidental. He's like, except Jenny Beckman, you bitch. Who he wrote this about, and then calls her a bitch at the beginning of it.
That is not fair.
It's not fair, and obviously, if this is an exactly true story, this guy learned nothing. Like, he even puts in the book, or in the screenplay in the movie, that, like, the signs were there, he was just too dumb to see them, and he still put at the beginning of the movie, you bitch. So these two dated. He was in England for school when this happened. After they broke up, they lost all contact, didn't talk anymore. When he wrote the screenplay, he had to reach out to her, basically, and be like, hey, I wrote this. It's kind of about us and about you. Is that okay? She gave him her blessing. The day after the movie released, she unfriended him on Facebook, and they've never spoken again.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Jenny Beckman, if you ever hear this, we love you. I don't know who this other fucking guy is. I'm not going to say his name.
There's your sequel. There's your sequel right here. Her side of the story.
Yeah, we need Jenny Beckman's, because clearly she told this guy multiple times, just looking for something casual, and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And now she's getting blasted in the opening credits of this movie, and probably didn't get a dime out of it. So fuck the guy that wrote this movie. All right, should we turn this chick flick into a dick flick?
Yeah.
All right, you go first. I'm a little worried we could have the same one here again.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever seen the movie The Cable Guy?
Oh my god. I have.
Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't.
So in the movie The Cable, this has nothing to do with The Cable Guy, but in the movie The Cable Guy, there's a backstory that's going on in the background the entire time. It's based off the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the two brothers that murdered their family.
Right.
This happens in a ton of movies. That's just the one I'd use as the demonstration here. I want there to be a backstory in this movie. We're going to not use pandemic. We'll go end of the world scenario, though, like a meteor's coming. Mm-hmm. So, because they're jumping around, and very often they're listening to the radio, or they're at a movie, they're talking to each other while the computer screens are in the background. I want there to be something coming. So, like, with the computer screen in the background, you see, like, early in the movie, or early in the relationship, you see it says, like, scientist spots meteor. And then, like, later when they're talking at the cafe, TV screen in the background, if you pay attention, says, like, meteor deemed size of Texas. And as it gets closer, so it finally, like, nobody's really saying anything. And then at that final scene where they're on the park bench and they're kind of, like, reconciling with each other, you just see, like, meteors coming in the background, almost like the movie Deep Impact or something, as they're just starting to fall, and it doesn't end with a happy ending
Them crushed
because
by
the
a meteor.
world is dead.
I just want, like, the last scene just be them crushed by a meteor.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like, them reconciling their last thing as the world ends.
500 days of meteors.
So yeah, that's I thought about it first with like a killer. Killer infectious disease going on, but we've already done that.
Yeah.
People have lived their entire romantic lives through that, so let's not.
We haven't got hit by meteors yet, though.
That's true.
Fingers crossed. Have you ever heard of a little movie called Looper?
Mm-hmm.
So my theory, or my idea, in Looper, Bruce Willis plays like a hitman where his younger self comes back, or travels through time to kill him, right? And his younger self is played by JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You're making it longer by saying JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You're right. I just like the sound of JGL. In my version of 500 Days of Summer, Bruce Willis plays the older version of JGL, traveling back in time to try to help him with this relationship. And it's like, because we jump around so much, we see like other days, like, and then we see different parts of each day and like more of each day. So we'll get a scene where, they're in the IKEA and he's like playing with the faucets and she's rolling his eyes and Bruce Willis is coming back and he's like hiding inside a Furfignugan bookcase and he's like, don't do the fucking faucet thing. Don't. She's not going to like that. You stop. You stop what you're doing right there. And it's just him popping in these scenes, like changing the way they go trying to make the relationship because he's still pining for this girl 50 years in the future. And once they establish that there's time travel, he wants to go back and get with her because he's been like missing out on this his entire life.
He wants to fix it. Like, even by that point, he still hasn't realized it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to go back and fix it. I love this.
Yeah. And then it's like 50 years of Summer because this guy's been like trying to figure this out forever. And eventually it's still not going to work out because like it's just not meant to be. And they have they have to figure it out. But yeah, that's mine. I'm just going to make it Looper, but just throw Bruce Willis in there. Fuck it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, we can add Nicolas Cage to things. We can add Bruce Willis too.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of Nicolas Cage.
Let's add Nicolas Cage to this thing?
Yes, let's add him and then we'll connect him. You go first.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're not going with the Hit Girl thing, because, I mean, any scene that she's in, he should be there, right?
He's just Big Daddy in the background?
Yeah, he's playing Big Daddy, and, I mean, she is actually Hit Girl. You know, this is what they do when they're not out murdering people violently in the streets.
Yeah, this is just like the part you don't see. Like, they're actually...
Yeah, Hit Girl has an older brother that didn't really want to go into the family trade. He wanted to be an architect.
Yeah, now he's writing writing greeting cards.
You know, so like every once in a while, like she's teaching about love, and you see Nicolas Cage in the back, like pulling a bullet out of his kidney, like doing field dressings.
All right, I like it. All right, I'm going to connect Nicolas Cage to the narrator.
Oh, the guy that is that's not Morgan Freeman.
He's not Morgan Freeman.
That was the very first thing I thought about him.
His name is Richard McGonigal. He does a lot of voice work. He does like some video game voices, things of that nature.
Okay.
But he's been in a few movies. He played a judge in a movie called Rules of Engagement. Starred Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones.
Seen it. Okay. Yes.
Ben Kingsley is in that movie.
Love him.
Ben Kingsley is in Lucky Number 11.
Yes.
Which also has Danny Aiello.
Which has Josh Hartnett.
It does have Josh Hartnett.
Who is not Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He's not.
I realized that this week.
So, Ben Kingsley is in Lucky Number 11 with not JGL, but also with Danny Aiello.
Okay.
Danny Aiello is in another movie that's on our list that we haven't gotten to yet, Moonstruck, starring Nicolas Cage.
The man.
And when we get to those movies that have Nicolas Cage in them on this list, I'm going to come up with something else, because I can't connect Nicolas Cage to a movie he's already in. So I'm going to have to figure something out.
Ooh, that's like Inception.
Yeah, it is Inception.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just connect him through another movie back to himself.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
You should.
All right, let's rate this thing.
He's in all of his movies.
Let's rate this thing.
You'd go first. I'm still not positive where I want to land on this.
I'm torn on this. I had a good time with this movie. I liked that it was short. I was telling you before we started the podcast, when I looked up to see where this movie was streaming, I was so thrilled it was only an hour and a half long, because some of these movies tend to drag.
Yeah.
For me. I don't have the greatest attention span. It moved swiftly. I thought it was funny in parts. I thought it was touching in parts. It made me feel some things. Stylistically and aesthetically, I love this movie. I love the style of it. I love some of the scene. Like, there was some of his, like, the scenes in his imagination where he's at the movie theater and he's watching like this black and white art film, and it's just him and her in the movie. Just so cool. Like the way they kind of took you inside his brain and, you know, made you feel the way he was feeling. I love that scene. Like I said, the expectation versus reality scene. I thought that was really well done. Just really cool. It was a cool looking movie. And like I said, the performances were good. I liked everybody in it. I thought they all played their parts really well. Just something about this movie didn't hit for me. I think we needed more from her to kind of get the reason why she was the way she was for me to like it better. And I get it. She was supposed to be kind of a two-dimensional character. And I read an interview from her where the character was supposed to be two-dimensional because that's all he saw her as. Like, he projected his own feelings and things onto her and what he wanted onto her.
Oh, she's like a blank canvas.
So she had to come up with, like, her own backstory for her character and make her three-dimensional, but then play her two-dimensionally. So in her mind, like, she had a fully developed character. You just didn't get to see it in the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's just something about it that, like, I wanted to know why she was the way she was and why she did some of the things she did. And I didn't get that. I think I'm going to go 3.25. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I really thought it was a really well done movie. I don't have a lot to complain about, aside from the fact that, like, I don't know, something left me feeling empty. And I can't really put my finger on it.
That's okay.
There's a Zoe Deschanel-sized hole in my heart, and I don't know what to do about it. So yeah, 3.25.
See a cardiologist.
This isn't normal. Yeah, 3.25. Final answer.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna come in at a 3.5.
3.5.
Like it was. This is a movie that I would watch again and probably see things a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like this is one you have to maybe see a couple times to really understand what the hell they were trying to tell you.
I did. Yeah.
Like even today, when we started today, I had not even realized the fact that they never show her in a scene without him until you were kind of bringing that up.
I think you're right. I think that maybe upon more viewings, I might get more out of this. But it is neat because I'm sorry to jump in on your review, but I wanted to talk about this and I forgot.
Sorry, you mansplained this review. No, I'm just kidding.
I forgot about this. So in the beginning of the movie, when they have the breakup scene, they're eating pancakes, right? They're at the diner having pancakes.
Yes.
The scene where they have like their last like bad day, and you see all the expanded scenes of like what he thought was good, but then you see like her not holding his hand when she goes to kiss him. She doesn't give him a real kiss, and they're at the record store and he shows her the album and she rolls her eyes and walks away. At the end of that day, she's like, I think I just want to go home. I'm tired. I'm not really. And he's like, come on, you want dinner? I got a great idea. Pancakes. So that scene leads right into that scene. Like, I feel like...
Exactly.
I'd like to see an edit of this movie where they edit it chronologically.
That's what I mean. This is a movie that
there's stuff you can pick up
shots.
on. Yeah, I think...
I bet you could probably find a YouTube video if it put together chronologically.
There might be.
Yeah, I think 3.5 is like... I don't think I'm not going to preach this movie to anybody. At this point, it's 12 years old. If you've seen it, you've seen it.
Yeah.
We're probably the only people to have streamed this in the last like 10 years.
No,
you don't think?
No.
But yeah, I like
JGL's mom watches it.
I definitely think it was high fidelity, but the guy was way more likable.
Yeah.
I could mesh with him a little bit better than John Cusack.
Yeah.
Could have used a little bit more John Cusack in this one.
You could always.
Always. But yeah, that's about where I'm at on it.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to roll our next movie then.
Yeah, let's do that. How many are we up to?
We are at 205.
205.
I hope it's nothing too serious. I'm tired of feeling feelings.
All right, let's see. We're at 140.
Hey, we got a high number.
Yeah,
Holy
we did it.
Shit. Oh. A Star is Born.
Ooh, the original or the new one? Or I know there's two, right?
The new one's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Yes.
We have to watch the original first, and then we put the remake on the list.
Is the original, is it Cher?
No, I think it's Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand, that's correct.
We're going to find out. Let's see here. This is an oldie but a goodie, I bet. Or wait a minute.
Is this a musical? I mean, I know it's a lot about music. This is gonna come up sooner or later. I hate musicals, man.
So this movie was from 1976. It's an R-rated.
Okay.
Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson.
I'm in. I'm sold.
Gary Busey, and then some people I don't know. But yeah, I mean, A Star is Born.
Okay, you had me at Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, I mean, I had myself at Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, well, until next week when we take a trip back to 1976 and watch A Star is Born. Please remember to follow us on the Facebooks. Send us an email at you've.gotmails@yahoo.com. Still want to hear where some of you people are listening from and how you found us. Reach out to us. Like us. Subscribe to us. Tell your friends about us. Until next time, be romantic and don't be shitty to each other.
Yeah. Google Chris Christopherson and Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
Just do it. Do it.
I don't even know what that is.